Good evening, Surag.
Good evening. Let's wait 3 minutes to everyone. So if
Okay.
somebody misses it, so yeah, you can share your screen on the presentation or something. Uh, if you have,
Yes, I will. After 3 minutes, we will start officially. So let's
great.
let's wait for some minutes. So before we start, as Surag said, that the prerequisite of this course should be like AZ900. It means it's the basic knowledge of clouds. So in this mind of things, I'm making first uh, lecture or first module to some basic knowledge about cloud. So we will start with some basic knowledge of cloud. So if you are very new in this cloud session, so I think it will be helpful for you also.
It's like this time. Okay. Once again, thank you all for joining today's session, and welcome to this training where we'll be working on through Azure Monster 4 and what you need to be learning, what you need to be going through to be passing the session. So we have Yasin Kabir with us to talk about it, guide you on it. He's an MCT and a cloud engineer, and he'll be helping you to learn the Azure Monster 4 training. So let's get into it. Over to you.
Thank you everyone to join here. I'm Yasin, and I'm here to make you understand about cloud and Azure AZ104 examination prepare, and also to as administrator associate of Azure. So before we start and jump into the Azure administrator AZ104 syllabus, so we should know about the cloud. I assume that most of you know about the cloud and everything, but by the way, I will do some introduction with cloud. Introduction to cloud, our first module, module number one. What we will learn in this module: introduction of cloud of computing. What do you mean by computing? Classified cloud computing, purpose of cloud computing, Azure as a cloud service. What type of service Azure give us as a cloud? A description of Azure cloud service. Just some short of description we will give about Azure cloud. Now, introduction of cloud computing. What do you mean by cloud computing? Cloud computing is a technology used to store and access data to and from an online source. There will be an online source where we will put some our data, official or personal, and anyhow we will get the data from there also. This is cloud, a simple way to express cloud. It is unique and different from keeping files on a hard disk, a computer, or other hardware device. It's different from. It is not like as you data is on the remote server. Data will be in the remote server. Remote server means a server where in the cloud, in the internet, so you can access that data from anywhere, which anyone with proper rights can access. It means anyone with proper rights. Proper rights means you just give them the of access right of this data. It makes remote working possible in companies, and as there are no hardware source involved. It means it makes remote working possible in companies. Remote working means you can work from your home and anywhere. So you don't need to go your office or company's premises to access your that service, that application or data. And as there are no hardware course sources involved, you can expect to save the operational expense and keep your data more secure. It means yes, you are not using, it is not necessary to go to the office premises to get your application or your data. So from home you can access your data or applications from your hardware. So company has a less operational expense, means company doesn't need any server or data center or a hardware investment. Just for a laptop is enough for that, and keep your data more secure as it is in the cloud service. So the cloud provider will provide all the secure systems on your data, so you don't have any headache about the security of your data. This is the normal sense of cloud computing. So moreover, we can discuss some cloud computing. That one is cloud computing is a setup or a technology that lets you use the database, networks, servers, and software over the internet. It's an elaborate discussion about cloud computing. It means that there is a technology where you can set up database, MS SQL server or Oracle server or any type of database server. You can set up a virtual network, means or your office network in a cloud, or servers as you suppose web server or your any application server or software over the internet. If you have any built-in software, so you can put that software over the internet and use that one also over the internet. The cloud server do not have a physical existence. It means you in a cloud server, you cannot see the cloud server, you cannot touch the cloud server, just you can use the cloud server. You know, this is a server and my data is there. That's all. They are present on the web. It is, as I said before, it will be in the web. It means if you have internet connection, then you can easily access those services from where any user can access it, irrespective of the geographical location. No need to need any geographical location everywhere. If you stay in the USA, so you can access data from India also. So there is no type of boundings. Therefore, it is an effective solution for companies with employees working from a remote setup. So if any good employee is in the suppose in the India and a company is in the USA, so that Indian employee can easily access the USA company's data application and they can work very nicely. There is no boundings and there is no difficulties to work with USA companies from the India employee. They only give them right access to the data. Just need that USA company will give the right access to uh, Indian employees, and that's all. And everything will be visible, and everything will come to his access. Classified cloud computing. There are some classification of cloud computing based on two categories. One is cloud location and another one is service. In cloud location means how cloud is located. Located means how cloud is, how cloud is used by the user. And based on the services, how what type of service cloud can give you. So these are the two different categories you can classify it by the cloud computing. So we will discuss now for everything here. Classified cloud computing based on a cloud location. And this is first one is public cloud. The public cloud is defined as computing services offered by third-party providers over the public internet. Means a company or a cloud service provider is responsible to give you the some resources, some services over the internet, and this is called public cloud, and it is all in the public. They may be free or sold on demand. It sometimes it may be free or some is like what you need you can buy, allowing customer on to pay only per usage of the CPU cycle, storage or bandwidth consumed. It depends on your pricing will be depends on your CPU cycle, how many speed you are using, how many bandwidth you are using, and how many storage you are using. Unlike private clouds, public clouds can save companies from the expensive cost of having a purchase, manage, and maintain on-premises hardware and application infrastructure. It it's not like private cloud, it's a public cloud. So public cloud will save your expensive cost of purchase a hardware. If you need a server, no need to buy server. If you need a office networking, no need to office networking, no need to router, no need to switch, nothing else. You just buy maybe a simple laptop and you just go with the cloud. And that's all. No on-premises hardware or application infrastructure you need for that. No need to buy any licensed Windows or any licensed software, nothing else. The cloud service provider is held responsible for all management and maintenance of the system. And there is another thing, you have nothing, there is no headache. You have nothing to think about or plan about your management or maintenance of the system. Cloud service provider will this on behalf of you. Public clouds can also be de deployed faster than on-premise infrastructure and with an almost infinitely scalable platform. It like suppose you're supposed to give a office infrastructure. So you need to buy a server, you need to for networking, you need to buy routers, switches, cabling. And for those things, you have to see if you go for setup, then it will take a lot of time. For cloud, it is not it will take some minutes or maybe hours to make a full infrastructure of office. So, and also it is scalable. Scalable means when you need to increase your, so maybe set up one or more two computers, virtual computer, then it will easy. Just click some steps, just follow some steps, it will always ready. Every employee of a company can use the same application from any office or branch using their device of choice as long as they can access on the internet. Every employee of the company can use the same application from any office or branch. It means same application by with the same application, any branches from anywhere you can your employee can use it or can access it. If just need, what is that need? Need is just internet and nothing else. So this is the public cloud. Now we will go for private cloud. We will know about the private cloud. The private cloud is defined as computing services offered either over the internet or a private internal network and only to select users instead of a general public. It means, as you know, the public cloud is the service that offered by the public, but here is a private cloud. Private cloud never offer to the public. It is for only some private task. It means suppose your company is need a private cloud, so this the demand of your company's service and the securities and everything will provide on that cloud. There will be no, this cloud will be made for only on your company, not for others. It is not accessible by public or a private internal network. Internal network means your on premises data, on premises network. This is for private cloud. only selected user. It means your company some user, maybe your company's all users, or you can give the access of some users of your company, and it is not open for general public. Also called an internal or corporate cloud. It is also called, you can call them an internal or corporate cloud also. Private cloud computing gives business many of the benefits of a public cloud, including self-service, scalability, and elasticity, with the additional control and customization available from dedicated resources over computing infrastructure hosted on premises. As it is in your on premises, so there is a self-service. Whenever you need, you can use. Whenever you need, you can change. These all are customizable, and also you can increase the capacity, or scalable is here, elasticity is here. So as well, like a public cloud, the public cloud and public clouds, there's facilities you can get here also. In addition, private cloud deliver a high level of security and privacy through both company firewalls and internet hosting, ensure operations and sensitive data are not accessible of third-party providers. It is more secure than public cloud, because there is a two, it is written here, there is a two types of, two layers of security you are getting. One is from your on-premises firewall or on-premises security, and another one is the cloud provider, which one is giving you the security. So two securities you have here. And it is also considerable that there is no third party providers here, so there is no possibility of data leakage or data compromising. One drawbacks of that the company's IT department is held responsible for the cost and accountability of managing the private cloud. And this is the one drawback, is that you need a good and experts IT management for responsible for this cost and accountability of managing private cloud, because this cloud is maintaining by you or your company. So there should be a experts and good IT team. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for a company to maintain the private cloud. So private clouds require the same staffing, management, and maintenance expenses traditional data center ownership. It means it is like the same as if you have a data center. Now as you take care of a data center, staffing, your management, your maintenance expenses, your everything will be like as your data center criteria. So this is the private cloud. And another cloud is hybrid cloud. Most of the we are using now hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud now is very popular. Hybrid cloud refers to a cloud computing model that uses a combination of at least one private cloud and at least one public cloud. It means at least one private cloud and public cloud all together makes a private cloud, which works together to provide a flexible mixed cloud computing service. It will be a flexible way of computing service. Suppose you have some application need to be more security, need to be more secure data. So you store secure data, so you put it on your private cloud, and some are of application that you need to open on publicly, like your website or some publicly used app, so you can give it to the public cloud. So it too makes you the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud computing extends infrastructure and operation consistently to provide a single operation model that manages application workloads across both environments. It means it balance the application workloads. So suppose, as I told before, that some application you can put on private cloud, which needs more security or more customization or customizable things, and others you can put in the private cloud, public cloud, which needs publicly accessible. Allowing for seamless migration of workloads for private and from public cloud of business needs dictate. This means migration of workloads for private and public cloud as a business need dictate. Depends on business. A hybrid cloud, sometimes called a cloud hybrid. Sometimes someone may be called it's a cloud hybrid, and hybrid cloud is the same. It's a computing environment that combines an on-premises data center with a public cloud. Suppose you have a data center in your in your on-premise or on office, and there is a you subscribe one cloud in a public cloud, suppose in Azure. So you need to collaborate or you need to access or synchronize some data. So there is a connection with public cloud and a private cloud, and this one also a hybrid cloud, and they can be shared the data and application, no problem. Some people define hybrid cloud to include multi-cloud. Someone may be called as a multi-cloud configuration where an organization uses more than one public cloud in addition on their on-premises data center. So a user can use both on-premises data center and a hybrid and a public cloud. So if he has access on it, and this hybrid cloud is now is a very popular cloud. There is another one is community cloud. A community cloud can be defined as a cloud-based infrastructure that enables multiple organizations to share service and resources derived from a common regulatory or operation requirements. It offers a shared platform and resources for different organizations to work on their business requirement. It is operated and managed by community members, third-party vendors, or even both. The organization that share common business requirements constitute the member of community cloud. Common business requirements compromise shared industry regulation, shared data storage, or shared infrastructure requirement. It means suppose there are some companies who have a same type of things, same type of operations, or maybe some operations are as similar. So they can share one one cloud infrastructure or some service of a cloud all together, that company. So like this a community cloud is built. So from this cloud, suppose you have a small office, you have not that much money or not that much fund to provide a public cloud or private cloud. So you make a community of your same type of companies and hire and get a cloud and share your to the other companies, so make it the community cloud. And community cloud maintained and managed by community members. Third party may be community members who are the community clouds, owner of the community clouds, or they can select some members from the community or some and third party vendors. Suppose any third party vendors you can give, or both mutually, both of them can maintain and manage the cloud. So this is community cloud. So last we finished the classified of cloud computing. Now we have a software as a service based on cloud service. What type of service cloud given? And by this we classified some three type of cloud. So number one is software as a service. It's shortly we can say SaaS, SaaS. Software as a service allows users to connect and use cloud-based apps over the internet. Common examples are email, calendaring, and office tools. Suppose we are suppose we are using email, Gmail. So this is the apps. Which apps? Emailing apps. We're using just emailing apps in the cloud. So anywhere from your mobile or maybe from my laptop, I can access from anywhere, just need a internet. So this is an example of software as a service in a cloud. SaaS providers, a complete software solution that you purchase on a pay as you go basis from a cloud service provider. It means how many you go, how many you pay, you will get like this. You rent the use of an app for your organization and your users connect it over the internet, usually with a web browser. In a web browser, suppose if you buy a Office 365 for email service or office service, so you can for your company, and you give the access to the you make the account for the your company users, and they can use it or access it from the web browser. All of underlying infrastructure where applications be in the service cloud server who are giving the service, their data center. The service provider manages hardware and software and with the appropriate service agreement. They are managing all the hardware, software, and others, all the things and legal things they are providing. Will ensure the availability and security of the app and your data as well. They will ensure you the availability all time. It will be 99.99% will be up, and the security of the app. They will provide you the ensurity. SaaS allows your organization to get quickly up and running with an app at minimal upfront cost. It will be a minimal cost, upfront cost, and it will be very easily it will go, it will set up and you can run. Then is a platform as a service. It's a shortly we can say PaaS, PaaS. Platform as a service is a complete development and deployment environment in the cloud with resources that enables you to deliver everything from simple cloud-based apps to sophisticated cloud enterprise application. You purchase resources you need from a cloud service provider on a pay-as-cloud. You have a software company, so you know which type of application you will build. From that requirements, you will buy some. Suppose you buy Microsoft MS SQL server, you build some servers, web server, app server. So you build an environment of development. So this is platform as a service. Like IaaS, PaaS includes infrastructure, server, storage, and networking. It also needs servers, storage, and networking, but also middleware, development tools, business intelligence, service database management system, and more. So PS is designed to support the complete web application life cycle, like building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating. As I told that if you go for a development, so it's the idle things that everything is there. You just take the services and make an environment for development, and it is also follow the life cycle of application like building and then testing, then deploying, then managing, and if needed, then it will be updated. Pairs allows you to avoid the expense of buying and need to buy a software license. Suppose if you need to buy a server of Windows 2022, it is here in the cloud. If you need to buy MS SQL server license, it is there. So there is a lot of things is there. Lot of your required things is there. So no need to buy. Underlying application infrastructure, middleware, container clusters such as Kubernetes or the development tools and other sources. So here is all the things. Suppose containers, Kubernetes, infrastructure, the infrastructure that you need, and middleware, everything is there, and other resources also. You manage the application service you develop, and the cloud service provider typically manage everything else. You just manage your application and nothing think about the infrastructure management. Infrastructure management will be managed by your service provider. So this is called PaaS. And last one is the IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service is a type of cloud computing service that offers essential compute, storage, and networking resources on demand on pay-as-you-go basis. You can take some compute service as a demand, or as you're using, you will pay like this. IaaS is one of the four types of cloud service. This is the four types of cloud service. It is one of them. Migrating your organization infrastructure to an IaaS solution helps you to reduce maintenance and on-premises data center, save money on hardware cost, and gain real-time business insights. It means, suppose if you want to migrate your small company or large company or any company to web in cloud, then it will reduce your uh, the costing of data center managing and the real-time business insight also. IaaS solution gives you the flexibility to scale your IT resource up and down with demand. IaaS is a very nice thing about flexibility to scale your IT resource. Suppose you are building one application and hosted an application. That time you thought that application will not run not accessible by too many publics. So you bought a minimum level of requirements. But after 1 week, you see that there are a lot of registration is going on in that application and there is a lot of load in this application. So that time you just make a request to the service provider that I need to increase the and in a reliability way. So it's a very very necessity for a IS provider. IS lets you bypass the cost of complexity for buying and managing physical servers and data center infrastructure. When you build IS and server, as I told, that all is managed and maintained by the service provider. So you need nothing to be a headache of maintaining a physical server or data center infrastructure. Each resource is offered as a separate service component, and you only pay for a particular resources. You just need to pay the particular resources. No need to pay other things. And then your own software, including operating system, middleware and application. Suppose you are going to build a PC, and
Hello,
in
Yasin.
Azure
I'm sorry
it
to
is
interrupt your
called
explanation, but I think the
yes.
audio that we are getting is pretty bad. It's being cut during the explanation, so it's pretty hard to understand what you're saying. So, is there any signal issue on your side?
I didn't find, but okay, I'm checking. Now it's okay.
Yes, I think now it's good. Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So IIS, where I am. So like Azure Managed Infrastructure, you need, suppose you want to build a VM computer. So you need to just click some options and it will automatically build a VM. You don't think about install
I'm sorry,
purchase
Yasin. I think it
license,
just came back again.
how it's installed, how it configure, and how it manage. All will be provided by our purpose of hello.
Yeah. I think there is some signal issue on your side. I think that's the reason why it's coming back again. It's if it's a really like lower, but it's okay. But it's a kind of hard to get that sentence when it's breaking too often. So
Now just I'm telling if it continue like this, then I will change my location. So just now check for 5 minutes. Purpose of
okay,
cloud computing. What is the purpose? Why we will use for cloud computing? Number one, reduce IT costs. One of the main advantage of choosing cloud computing over internally hosted infrastructure solution is the reduction of IT cost. As we discussed before, that we don't need to buy anything, any hardware, any single hardware or computer or server or any router or any switches to set up my computer, set up my office network or my data center. So it will reduce my IT cost of purchasing any hardware or any licenses. Then we go for managed by experts. As we have no infrastructure in our office, so we don't need that type of IT expert who can build or who can manage my data center. So all are the provided by the service provider. So we don't need any headache for any management. Then we have a secure environment. Cloud computing also typically results in more secure computing, while on surface in-house computing can mean less room of network breach. It is also means increased opportunity of error. There is less opportunity of error in our cloud computing. With in-house computing, your data is stored in a single location instead of multiple locations. As as in cloud service provider, they are storing your data in different region and different locations data center. So if there is one data center is down or destroy, or maybe some problem is arise, then another data center from they can get your data from another data center. From For this it is very secure, but in your on-premises data center you cannot get this type of opportunity or this type of advantage or this type of service. So in your cloud computing, your data will be more secure. 24/7 monitoring. Another benefit of cloud computing is that most cases this means your systems are being monitored by 24/7. This is usually difficult to replicate on site at a company since traditional employees typically request day off. It is normal that when you have a company, you have a IT expert or IT team, but they cannot give you service or monitoring service in 24/7. They need rest, they need day off, they need vacation, and a lot of things. But in cloud, they ensure that they are monitoring your service, your resources 24/7. Another is less downtime. Downtime means suppose there is a web server or web service or application service in your data center. It should be like always on or always uptime. Uptime means it will be always in live. And in our data center, it is very much dependable on your internet service provider and other things. Your internet service provider, your power, electricity, your cooling system is a lot of things. But in cloud, if you give that apps or web server in the cloud, then you don't think about these things. You don't, you don't feel headache of these things. All are maintained by the cloud, and they are 99.9% uptime. Improve speed and bandwidth. As we know, in a service provider, just we face now that I'm talking with you, but my signal is not uh, taking strong, and maybe my internet service provider is now lacking some bandwidth. So we feel some problem. But if there is a cloud system, in a cloud system, there will be no, they ensure you there will be no like this type of disability of bandwidth or speed. So you will get a improved speed and bandwidth there. So your business will run very smoothly and faster. Improve time to market. It is very important things. If you are a technology based company, you understand the importance of having the proper infrastructure and platforms to build, manage, and deploy your service. You suppose you are a technology based company, and you are making some applications, mobile applications or software. So you need to consider about the timing things, that the deadline things. For this deadline, you have to follow the build up, manage the infrastructure, the development environment, and everything. As you know that cloud computing is give you the development environment most easily. So you have a so using cloud computing means you are piggybacking of existing platform, means you are very much supporting to go in the market very quickly. So you don't need to take time for getting your development environment. You are getting your development environment from the cloud very immediately, and after that you can go for the development testing and other things, and you can go also the market in very quickly. And uh, one statistical company like Benson Broom, who are working with IT based statistics, they are telling that it will decrease the market, helping the market average of 20.66%. It means you can go in the market 20 your time decrease by 20.66%. You can go your market very quickly. Better in-house IT management. In addition, transferring your computing to a cloud-based platform means your in-house IT team has a less day-to-day management and maintenance system and infrastructure. This means your team has more time to make improvement and advancements. help facilitate company growth, help with in-house technology challenge, and more. As you know that nowadays new technologies coming, and we likely to use our IT company, IT teams or IT groups to give us the more ideas, more future ideas, and more future technology to introduce to us. So if your system is in the cloud, so these IT teams have a lot of time to research and to introduce or and to learn or something new from your company. Scalable and elastic service. Another large reason business switch of cloud computing is that the service are incredibly scalable and elastic. This means you can upgrade and downgrade your service, storage, bandwidth, etc. quickly and seamlessly. This is especially true for fast-growing companies, seasonal companies, and companies otherwise experience in fluctuating computing needs. It means, suppose, as I told before, that suppose your company is a very fast growing. Now you are taking some small storage and it is growing very rapidly. So you need to increase your storage. So in a on-premises center, suppose your data center in on-premise or infrastructure is in your on-premises private. So that time you have to buy the storage devices from your market, then you have to set up it and you have to configure it. But in cloud, you don't need to think about this. You just do some clicks and it will automatically increase the storage or bandwidth or every service that you need. And on the other hand, suppose you develop a website and you publish it in the web. You thought that it will be run a very good way, but after some time you realize that there is a very minimal hit in the web, so you need to decrease the storage or decrease the bandwidth. So you just ask them to decrease your bandwidth, they will decrease your bandwidth. For that reason, you will pay also less. So these are the things for scalable and elastic services. Accessible from anywhere. As you know, it is accessible from anywhere. You don't need to think about the office. No need to go to office or no need to think about I need to go there to access that service. There is no that type of things anywhere in travel way or anywhere from anywhere you can access it and you can work on it. Now we will go for Azure as a cloud service. What is Azure and how it is as a cloud service? Azure is a cloud computing platform and an online portal that allows you to access, manage cloud service and resources provided by Microsoft. Azure is one of the cloud computing platform, and you can access these Azure services by an online portal which are resources or online portal, cloud service, and resources provided by Microsoft. As you know, the Microsoft is one of the biggest software company in Bangladesh, in the world, and also they are providing the cloud service. The name of resources include storing your data and transforming it. They will store your data, and whenever they need, they will transform it, and depending on your requirements. And it is depends on your requirements. To get access of these resources and services, all you need to have is an active internet connection and the ability of connect to the Azure portal. You need one internet connection. It means a browser from connect to Azure portal, and you need to be an account in Azure portal. Things that you should to know about Azure. What we need to know about Azure must be known. It was launched on February 1st, 2010. It started from 2010, February 1st, significantly later than the main competitor AWS. It is just later on the AWS, AWS service provider, cloud service provider. It's free to start and follows a pay per use model, which means you pay only for the service you opt for. It's when you will start, it's a free and follows pay per use model. Means whenever you use that time, you will pay only that service. No need to pay any extra charges. Interestingly, 80% of Fortune 500 companies use an Azure service for the cloud computing needs. 80% of Fortune companies, Fortune 500 companies is the companies who are very rapidly growing their business in IT sectors and general, and they are using cloud computing as Azure. Azure supports multiple programming language, including Java, Node.js, and C++, and so on. Azure supports this type of multiple programming languages also. Another benefits of Azure is the number of data center it has the world. It is the most data center it has in Azure. There are 42 Azure data centers spread around the globe. It has total 42 data centers, which is the highest number of data center for any cloud platform. Also, Azure is planning to get more. They will introduce more 12 data center, which means it will be a 54 very shortly. So what we think, what we know here, that Azure is the one of the highest data center service cloud service provider. What type of service Azure is given? So first of, we are giving the compute service, virtual machine. This service enables you to create a virtual machine in Windows, Linux, and any other configuration in seconds. As I told you before, that in some clicks you can build a virtual machine here. It may be a Windows, it may be Linux, or any other server also. Cloud service. The service lets you create a scalable application within the cloud. In a cloud, you can give put an application. That application will be scalable. When they need, they will be they will increase their capacity, or when they need to decrease, they will automatically decrease their capacity like this. And load balancing, health monitoring, all these things are taken care by the Azure. Service fabric, which service fabric, the process of developing microservice immensely simplified. Microservice is an application that contains other bundle smaller application. All of the smaller application makes together one bundle application, and this is called service fabric. These things of service you can get from Azure. Function, you can create application in many programming language. These are function that one in a function you can get some programming language. You can use programming language to build some function, and that function you can put in your application. That you need to worry about hardware requirements. You no need to worry about hardware requirements, which hardware needs to execute these functions or developing this function. All these things it take care by the Azure cloud. You just need to know the code and you just write the code there and nothing else. Networking. Azure CDN, Azure Content Developing Network, is developing content to users. It uses high bandwidth to any person around the globe. The CDN service uses a network server placed strategically around the globe so that the user
Sorry to
can
interrupt,
access
Yasin. I
data as
think
soon
your audio
as
is
possible.
being chopped
It
again.
means, suppose if your it means suppose is used most of the user, if your application is using by the in the Asia, then the CDN server will be in the data from 3 to 5 minutes. Hello.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit choppy for 2 3 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, for the delay. He will be back joining. So let's give him a 5 minutes so he can adjust it and that we don't have that breaking. So I understand that it's really hard to understand when it's breaking too often. So you won't get the full context to what the trainer is saying. So uh, let's give 5 minutes for him to get over it and yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Surag. I think it will be okay now.
Okay, cool.
And Express route is a special routing in Azure. It is like VPN, virtual private VPN connection, but not like VPN. It is a special type of a routing. Like the service lets you connect your on-premises network to the Microsoft Cloud or any other services that you want through the private connection. So only communication that will happen here will be between the enterprise network and the service that you want. It means in Microsoft, there are some internet service provider in they are authorized. So if you took from them, a service as for express route, they will make a connection with Azure provider and your on-premises data, and there will be a more secure and more speed uh, virtual network connection like VPN. Virtual network. The virtual network allows you to have any of the Azure service communication with one another privately and securely. It means there will be a network for as you make a network, and there may be a lot of networks, two or three more networks, and there can be connected with the different virtual networks. So suppose we have made a virtual network for a branch. We have a three branch. So for branch A, you make a virtual network. For branch B, you make a virtual network. At branch C, you make a virtual network, and all three network you can connect. Azure DNS. Azure DNS, this service allows you to host your DNS domains or system domains on Azure. If you have a domain in your own or in your company, so you can host it that domains in your Azure, and you can make also system domain as an Azure. Azure Cloud as a Service storage, disk storage. This service allows you to choose from either HDD, hard disk drive, or SSD, solid state drive, as your storage option along with your virtual machine. Suppose, as I know, we know, everyone knows that when you build a computer, then you need a hard disk store for as a storage. So is you need to make one to build a hard disk drive. You use a hard disk drive or SSD drives. Both are using as a storage in a virtual machine in Azure. Blob storage. This service is optimized to store a massive amount of unstructured data, including text and even binary data. There is no structure, no type of data, any type of data you can store. It means if you have a huge amount of storing data, then you will take or use blob storage system. And file storage is like that, you if you need to manage or share some file, then you will use this file storage, and this file storage is used by SMB, server message block protocol. Because servers message block protocol, this protocol can be shared by the Linux, Windows, and MacOS, all operating systems. So this one there, for that's why they're using this SMB protocol. Queue storage is like that. Queue storage are storing the message. Suppose you build an application. Sometime in application we need to do some message like uh, upload the pictures, wait for a minute. So this type of message you can storage in a queue storage, and whenever any application need, you can take from that storage. Why you will use Azure? There is a lot of cloud service like AWS, Google, IBM. So why we will use Azure? For you will use for application development. You can create any web application in Azure. Any type of web application you can create in Azure. Testing. After developing an application successfully on the platform, you can test it. There is a lot of test tools here. So from that test tools, you can test that. Application hosting, you can host your application there after the testing. Create virtual machine, you can create virtual machine in any configuration you want with the help of Azure. Integrate and synchronize features. Azure lets you to integrate and synchronize features, devices, and directories. So there is the option of integration and synchronization. Collect and store metrics. Azure lets you to collect and store metrics as well, which helps you to find what work you have to done. Virtual hard drives. So you have virtual hard drives. These are the extensions of virtual machines. They provide huge amount of data storage. As a virtual hard drives, there are a lot of options there for storage of virtual machines by the HDD, virtual hard drives. So this is the finish of my first module. Then we will start for the second module now. The second module is the identity. What is the Azure identity? We will learn here. What we will learn in this module? create Azure users and groups in Azure Active Directory. There is Active Directory, and that Active Directory we will learn how to create an Azure user and a group. How you will manage user and group in Azure Active Directory, how we will secure it by the multi-factor authentication, and how a user can reset their password by the self-service. These are the things. Azure Active Directory. What is Azure Active Directory? Azure Active Directory AD. Azure AD is Microsoft multi-tenant cloud-based directory and identity management service. For IT admins, Azure AD provides an affordable and easy-to-use solution to give employees and business partners single sign-on access to thousands of cloud SaaS application, Microsoft 365, Salesforce, Dropbox, and Concur. Suppose in one sign-in option, you can get lot of service like Microsoft 365 and other service from the Azure Active Directory. If you have a account in Azure Active Directory, if a user admin give you account in Azure Active Directory, then you can access the other service in that subscriptions. What is the concept? The concepts are identity. Identity is an object that can be authenticated. It means someone should be authenticated. Account. There will be an account and identity that has data associated with it. There is some account. It means you have some names, some password names, password, and others information also. Azure AD account, Active Directory account, an identity created through Azure AD or another Microsoft Cloud service. Another Microsoft Cloud service, maybe Microsoft 365 or Hotmail service or any other things. Azure AD tenant and directory. A dedicated and trusted instance of Azure AD. A tenant is automatically created when your organization signs up for a Microsoft Cloud Service subscription. Suppose if you create an account in Microsoft Azure portal and you take a subscription, then in the take of subscription, you have to give some names of your company organization. Then it will create a tenant or a directory from the name of that organization. Additional instance of Azure AD can be created. Azure AD is the underlying product providing identity service. The term tenant means the single instance of Azure AD representing a single organization. One tenant, one organization. The term tenant and directory are often used interchangeably. It can be interchanged by each other. Azure subscription used pay for Azure cloud service. Azure subscription, there are a lot of subscription there. So it is you can choose subscription by as you pay. What type of subscription you need, you just pay that one and you will get that subscription. Benefits and features. What is the Azure Active Directory benefits? Benefits is, first, as I told, single sign-on to any cloud or on-premises or web app. One sign-in and you will get a lot of features there. Works with iOS, Mac OS X, Android, and Windows device. From any device, any operating systems, you can access Active Directory. Protect on-premises web application with secure remote access. From on-premises application, from web application, you can get a secure remote access because you have authentication there. Easily extend Active Directory to the cloud. From suppose you have on-premises Windows server and you need to extend it into the cloud, so it is easily to just make it synchronize or extend it. Protect sensitive data and application. It will protect your data and application. Reduce cost and enhance security with self-service capabilities. It will reduce your cost because you don't need to a Windows server to make we make a ADDS, Active Directory or domain service. You don't need to that one, but you can get same type of security from the Azure Active Directory. Active Directory and DS, traditional ADDS versus Azure Active Directory. Azure AD is primarily an identity solution. It's a primary identity solution that it will store your identity, and designed for HTTP and HTTPS communication. As we know that we will access that Active Directory through the Web, and web is communicate by HTTP and HTTPS. Queried using REST API over HTTP and HTTPS instead of LDP. Normally, we use LDAP protocol to get the querying some resources from the on-premises data center or on-premises network, but here they are using REST API over HTTP and HTTPS. Use HTTP and HTTPS protocols such as SAML, WS Federation, and OpenID Connect for authentication and OAuth for for authorization instead of Kerberos. Instead of Kerberos are using in the AD, normal AD, and we are using here SML and WS Federation and others protocol OpenID. Includes Federation service and many third-party service such as Facebook. Some we can log in by as as a Facebook authentication or Google authentication and any third-party authentication. Azure AD users and groups created a flat structure and there is no organizational unit or group policy objects. When you will if you similar work with Active Directory in on-premises or in your Windows 2019 or 22 service, then you know that first of all we have to create organization unit and make some group policy here. But in Azure AD, it's a flat structure. You don't need like hierarchical or the organizational unit or group policy objects. What is the features of Azure Active Directory in different editions? Features: directory objects, free the free options, free accounts, we will get 5 lakhs objects. Microsoft 365 apps, you have a like license of my Microsoft 365 apps or subscription, then it has no limit. All directory objects you can get. For Premium P1, you will get no object limit. Premium P2, no object limit. Single sign-on, unlimited. Everyone will get unlimited access. Core identity and access, core base of identity access, you will get from free, you will get from Microsoft 365, Premium P1 as well P2. Business to business collaboration, you will get in free there, free account there. Microsoft 365 apps you will get there. P1 will get there as well as P2. Only identity of access of Office 365 in free section you will not get the Office 365. Only Premium P1 and Premium P2 and Office 365 itself get those services. And below all the others like premium features, hybrid identities, advanced group access, conditional access, identity protection, identity governance. These are the things the free users cannot get, and Microsoft 365 apps also cannot get. These are the features for Premium P1 and Premium P2. So manage users and groups we will do in the our my portal. So just for some need to some give some description here, then we will go to the my portal and we will check there and we will create there the group the users and groups and other things. All users here must have an account. The account is used for authentication, authentication means you have to authenticate in the portal, and authorization means which resource on which type of authorization you have to access the resources. Identity sources, cloud directory synchronized and guest. Maybe cloud user. Directory synchronized means you have a already have a Active Directory in your on premises and it is synchronized by the cloud, and there may be a guest. If you have any guest, if you need to one users as a guest, then you can create a guest user. User, who can create user? User can create either global administrator or a user administrator roles. Who are the taking these roles? They can create a user. What user profile consists? User profile consists picture, job, contract info is optional. Deleted users can be stored, restored in for 30 days. Suppose if you delete a user, you can be restored that user by 30 days. Sign in and audit log information is available. Sign in and log audit. Suppose who are sign in and when it is logged, and this type of log we can get from the Active Directory. There is another option to take a CSV template, user template to import in the Azure to get more bulk user accounts. We will also see this in my portal. So these are the things. So now I'm going to my portal to check about those Azure Active Directory. You can see here, this is my portal Azure Active Directory. As I am MCT, so I am getting $100 every month here for free for use and for testing and for learning. So this is my portal. Normally this everyone will get this portal when they have an account. After that they should sign in any subscription, but normally if you go for free, then you have to give your credit card numbers. For 1 month you will get $200 free to use that services. After 1 month they will charge from you from your credit card, but they will ask you before the charging. So after then you if you deny that options, then it will not charge again. And for MCT, if you pass Azure administrator, then you can you can be eligible to for MCT, and you need to refer one from one MCT that you are uh, for become MCT. So if you want, if anyone from here pass the Azure administrator AZ104, and if they can uh, send me one email as a reference, then I will refer you as an MCT, then you will get the 1 year MCT account or Microsoft certified trainer. So this is my Azure portal. From here you have a lot of service there, and all service, if you click here all service, then you will get the all the service. Look, all the service here. Compute 25 compute service here, 34 networking service here, storage service 15 storage service here. We have web service 16, mobile service 3, web containers 7 container service, we have 20 databases, analytics we have 15, AI and machine learning 26, and a lot of things here. So we will here for Azure Active Directory. Here you can find Azure Active Directory, or if you don't find here Azure Active Directory, then you can go here and just write Active, sorry, Azure SCTR. Azure Active Directory, just click here. Here is the Azure Active Directory. This is the overview of Azure Active Directory. Name is default directory, but if you have a company, then it will be a company name directory. Like here, it is written here, default directory. Now we have 6 users here. Tenant ID is here. Group we have 3. Primary domain is, this is my name. It is my name. So if you have your company, then it will be your company's name. Applications is 1, and license. My license is Premium 2 license. Now we will go for users. If you click here, there's a, you can go for users. We have some users here, so I need to create a new user. Just click here, create new user. two options you can see here. One is create new user, another one is invite external user. If you want to invite an external user, then you will click here, invite an external user to collaborate with your organization. There is another user outside of the organization, but you need to collaborate them. Then you can click here. Or if you create a new user in your organization, then just click create new user. Then it came here. It is here also create user and invite user. Just write down your name. John. Here is my default email domain here. So right here. But normally, if you have your domain, company domain, and it is parked in your DNS, then it will become here. Then username, John Costa. First name, John. Last name, Costa. There is a two type of password generation. One is auto generated. It will generate automatically, or let me create password. Suppose I am created SECRET. Just give one password. If you have a groups here, from here you can create a groups. If you have already a group, then you can create a group. Or if you don't have, just leave it as it is. Roles, which type of roles it will be. There's a lot of roles here. You can find here any roles. Suppose look, application administrator, you can check here then what is the purpose of these roles. Can create, manage all aspects of app registration and enterprise apps. Application developer, like Azure AD joint device local administrator, authentication policy administrator, authentication administrator. There's a lot of roles here. You can, like user administrator. Suppose if you click here user administrator, then this user can after that he can create user, manage user. So just I keep no need. Normal user, block sign in, no, it will be sign in. Usage location, so you can pick their location also. States, you can put it in as a job info. These are the optional, so you can give any job info. Or manager is another thing. Suppose if you give that who is the manager of this user, so you can give any options. There are the user we have already in our active directory, so I can put here I'm the manager. So I am office manager. Now create password. Okay, now look, successfully created very shortly. এবং make refresh, I think it will come. Yes, John Costa, it comes. And it is very easy to create a user who is creating a global administrator or a user administrator. As I am a global administrator, so I have a options to create. So another way to create is a bulk create. Bulk create means suppose you have 100 of user, your management give you 100 of users name. Now you need to create those users account in Active Directory. So it will be very difficult to create one by one. So you need an option to create by a bulk. So what happened? You just click here, bulk create. In bulk create, first option, you have a download CSV template. They will give a template here. So you will click download. It is downloaded. Click here. Then it will open in a CSV files. You just Look, it is already a sample is here. You just display name, you give the name, give a username, keep the initial password, and block sign in. It will be no. You will give first name, last name, and that's all. All will be here. After that, you'll give save as a CSV file. Then you will be like select a file and you will upload this file like this way. After this file, then you just make submit, then it will be automatically 100 of user or 200 or 300 user will be added in your Active Directory in a minute. So as I told, there is the option of audit logs. Here you can find the logs. From here, you will get the audit logs. Like one is failure here. I try to add, it is fail, success, like this. There's a lot of audit log. Update user, when I use update, and every log is here. And sign in log also here. Last 7 days sign in. How we sign, when signed, who signed, what is their IP addresses was, authentication, which type of single factor authentication, and everything will be here. Location also will be here. From which location I'm signing in here. And from which application? From Azure portal. Suppose if any other application, suppose I for Microsoft Azure CLI, this is also here. If there is a problem, then it will be diagnose the problem and it will solve the problems. If it is a delete users, then it will be here if we delete any user here. Password reset. Self-service password reset enabled. None. I took none. Nobody can self-service password. They cannot reset the service password. If you want, then you can give all or select. Select, then select group. Which groups user can self pass they can reset your password themselves. You can select any group here. So I make it none. And these are the things about user and user options and users. Now we will go for groups. I will make a groups and we will assign a user in a groups. Groups is very simple. Just click new group. Group is security groups, not of Office 365. We are making a security group, so it will be a security group name, any name. Like you can give uh, management group. Group description you can write or you don't. Azure ready roles can be no need to assign. Membership type. This is assign membership. No need for dynamic and dynamic devices. Dynamic devices means that device dynamically is registered. So no need here. Owners. Yes. So who is the owner of this group? Suppose I make it, I'm the owner of this group. So select, or you can give anyone. Members, who is the members of this group? Now I'm adding members. There is a two way of members. When you are creating user from from there you can add member, or here in the user group, in the making of group, then you can add a member. So there are a lot of user here. System user also here. Azure storage and all of users. So I'm making here. Just make Costa John. Sorry, John. Right. John Costa. Select. So he is the one of the member of this group. Like this, you can create a lot of member of this group. So it is automatically created. Suppose we have IT cloud administrator here, one group. Now claim management group. Here is IT Cloud Administrator group. Click here. From here also members. From here also you can add members. So John, you can put here as a member. This way also you can add a member in a group. Refresh, it will come like John Costa, it will come. Owners, there is no owner. You can add owner here also. Suppose I'm my name, I am the owner of this. Roles and administrator. Suppose IT cloud administrator. What is their roles? Role is frame. This is actually administrative role. So already it is a role. So no need to preview the features here. So you will feature this is already a roles, IT cloud administrator roles. This is cloud administrator roles. So this is the groups options. Expirations. If you want to expire some group, then 120 days, it will be a group in lifetime, custom, like this. You can make it like this way. Here is also audit logs. When I make group, how I add group, which one I added, if I added any member, if I added any owner, then it will come here. If any reserve, if I put any bulk operation, then also it come here. So these are the Active Directory, and here devices also is here. From which devices users are accessing here. If you want to, like here, which devices settings, all devices here. You can click here, you can check from which device, which OS. Where it's from roaming. If any roaming device is here, then it will be seen here. If any external identities is here in login, then it will become here. So we have no setup external collaboration here, so it is not coming here. Here is another thing, Azure AD Connect. This is a very important thing. As you told that we have a connection, we can synchronize our on-premises data center with Azure cloud. From here, we can create Azure AD Connect. With AD Connect, there is a cloud synchronization from here, or get started from connect synchronization here, connect synchronize from here, or get started. You can get from here. It's a primary starting. Access here, manage role assignments. You can assign role here. There's a lot of roles for these connections. So any roles you can create, or multiple roles also you can create if you need, or you can create a new custom role also. These roles and which type of permission you will give, like here, lot of permission is here. You can make lot of, means you can make 2 or 3 or 5 more permission you can give in one role also. So this is a download an agent, manage from the cloud, and manage from the on-premises connect synchronize. Download an agent for the cloud and This one is for your on-premises connect synchronize in manage. When you click manage, then there is a some files here. You will just download download in your computer in your data or data center or in your server, and you just set up it, and automatically it will synchronize. It will take some authentication from your Active Directory, and it will synchronize your your AD your on-premises Active Directory to Azure Active Directory. So this is the identity. It means Azure Active Directory of, like, password reset. As I told you that if you click, so you can password reset by the self service, and one is authentication method. So how will you authenticate? Number of this two. Suppose you need to authenticate by two-factor authentication, then it will be email and mobile phones, SMS. There are a lot of mobile app notification also. There is a mobile app code. There will be a code came to your mobile app. Then office phone is the option. Security questions is an option. If you click security question, there the number of questions required for register. You can give it three, minimum three, four, or five. Number of questions required for reset, for this for register and reset also three, four, or five, anyone you can give. So just so these are the authentication options. From here also you can authentication change some authentication option also. Here is on-premises integration. When you have a connection with your Active Directory in your on-premise, then there will be no agent because we didn't set up any agent here, and there is no synchronization. So that's why this option is not these are working properly. So here these are the things about Azure portal now and our Active Directory. So today we have covered two module. One is an introduction of and basic features of cloud and why we will use Azure and the service basic service of Azure. And today about identity, Azure Active Directory, how you can make account of a user, how you can create a user account, how you can create a groups, and how you can keep make a user as in a group, or in a from a group how can we can add a member in a group. And one thing I left to show to how you can delete. This is as easy as to create. Just click here and make it delete the selected user, then it will be okay. As it is in the groups also, just create in groups. If you need to delete any group, just click here and make it delete, it will delete. So these are the things we have learned so far. If you have any questions, you can ask me the question here, so I will try to give the answers. I will share my this two presentation to Surag, so Surag can give it to you. Hello Surag, are you there? It is now over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Yasin, for that session. I think it was really resourceful, and I think people here are understanding the explanation and they able to follow up through the session. And and there is attendance form for today as well. So please do fill it out. I have shared in chat box, and the recording will be available in our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions for today's session, please do ask it in the chat box. Or if you want to have mic access, please do drop a message, I will give you the mic access. I think there are a few questions in the chat box.
It is going very fast. So
If there is nothing to be answered,
yes, I'm answering in and in
mm,
there is a group in Teams. Some question is there.
looks like there is way too many questions. You can just answer them in the voice itself so that it will be faster and
No, you don't need to create any Azure account for next session. There is a question that if I need a Azure create Azure account for next session. I don't think so now. As how can you open ports in Azure VM as a FTP protocol? We will learn when we will check it in Azure VM class. There will be a class in Azure VM only That session we will check this one. How to get free account? For free account, you need to log in as portalazure.com, and for your if you have any credit card, then for with that credit card you can get a 1 month free account with limit of $200. Yes, on-prem AD will be synchronized with Azure AD. As per do you know, I will not provide any demo account. Sorry. No, Azure and G Suite is totally different. Azure is a portal for a cloud service, and G Suite is a normally service from some particular applications. I have my email, so I will give my email number in the last class, so you can contact with me for any MCT suggestion. Yes, if a certain user can be deleted, then you can restore it by 30 days. There is a lot of job opportunity in the AZ104 Azure Administrator. You can search in the LinkedIn also. You can get a lot of job, more than 200 jobs in US only. I will share my email in my last session. Yes, the session will be tomorrow in the same channel. I'm very sorry about today's. There is some disruption about my network and signal issue. Hopefully tomorrow it will be not like this.
Looks like the questions have been answered, and I think we can wind up the session today. I think a few places it's been kind of late, so I think we can wind up the today's session. Thank you all for joining today's session. We will be having the same time tomorrow till 19th, and afterwards we'll be starting from 23rd. So it'll be same time. The same link doesn't going to be changed. If you want to like pin the chat or something so that you can come back to the meeting whenever you wish to be having. And certificate of participation will be delivered after the training is concluded. And yeah, and the recording will be available in our YouTube channel, which I have shared in the chat box as well. So yeah, thank you all for joining with us today, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Yasin.
Thank you very
See you
much.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everyone.